Yeah, this motor's shot. Welcome back to the OSM channel. You're currently looking at my home heating system. So this is an oil-fired boiler, and the burner system is a Beckett model AFG. I'm going to teach you how to replace the motor on your Beckett AFG model burner unit. We're also going to replace the motor, I believe this, what do they call this, a connecting shaft. And I'm also going to swap the fan onto the new motor. The first step is, again, to make sure that you shut the emergency burner switch off. So we'll shut that off, and now we are safe to start working on the motor. So before I disconnect the motor from the electrical junction, I'm actually going to just remove the motor assembly from the burner and just ensure that my new replacement part is going to work, because I couldn't find the original part number model, so I had to get a different one, and I just want to make sure that I got the right one here. So this is just held on here with two fasteners. There's one up here and one diagonally across, just flathead screws in my case. So we'll loosen these up. Then you should be able to turn the unit a little bit, and it should pull right out. Be careful, because you do have the fan fins, and we are gonna swap this onto the new motor. So another interesting find here, this coupling shaft, the green end has actually unfastened from the main shaft. And according to my research online, these shafts are different lengths, and you should get one that matches the color of the shaft that you have. So I had green, of course I bought a green replacement one, and putting these side by side, it does appear that this is the right length. So that's just something you want to check. So I'm going to take the new motor and just make sure that it twists into the housing properly. It appears to be a good fit. Loosen up these fasteners more. Alright, that's looking good. I think it's going to be a good fit, and of course the motor horsepower, rotation, and voltages all match, so that is something that I did verify. So I just want to show you these two manufacturers' plates side by side. So this is the unit that was originally on my burner, model number 707502. 115 volts, RPM 3450, 115 volts. So let's take a look at the manufacturer's tag on the new motor. (115 volts, single phase, RPM 3450. Additionally, here's the replacement model number. So this is Y5L271C81. So now we need to disconnect the electrical connections to the old motor. So those electrical connections kind of come through the housing right here. So you're going to have to flip open the transformer. Now, in order to open the transformer, there's these little tabs that go over the front. So you just loosen these up with the flathead, flip them out of the way, and you'll be able to open up your transformer. You can see where the motor wires run up through the housing right here, and they go into this junction box. Obviously your safety controller, you will need to remove this and turn this off to the side to gain access to the wires. So here's the old motor wiring coming into the junction box, and you should have an orange conductor and a white conductor. Now, I want to make sure that when I reassemble this, I don't get things mixed up. So what I'm electing to do is to cut the orange conductor and also the white conductor prior to removing the wire nuts. That way, when I bring the new wiring up through the system, I can just look and see where the old orange wire went, and I can simply install that onto the twist cap. So with that clipped, we can go and fish the old wiring out of the housing. Move this motor off to the side, and let's swap everything over onto the new motor now. I tell you, this coupling is just falling apart. Definitely time to replace it. Try and pull this cap off here without cutting my fingers open. Try and wiggle it out of here with a pair of channel locks. It should come off. I also just want to give you a quick clip of what this motor sounds like when I spin it freely. Yeah. This motor's shot. Definitely time to replace it. Wow. So next, there is an Allen head set screw that holds the fan assembly onto the shaft. Now, in order to loosen up that set screw, there are holes in the fan blades, so I'm going to select the appropriately sized Allen and I'll see if I can get that cracked loose. Alright, so I have my Allen wrench through the hole in the fan fins. Appears to be the appropriate size. I'm going to use a adjustable wrench here for leverage. See if we could crack this loose. Come on. She's in there pretty tight. And we'll try this a different way, see if we could crack it loose this way. Ah! I think we got her cracked. Yep. Beautiful. Now, will she come off freely? That is the question. She will. All right. Looks like we're in business here. Maybe I spoke too soon. Just fighting the rust. There we go. That saved me 20 bucks. Now, here's our new motor. Obviously, there is a flat spot, and that is where we're going to line up our set screw on our fan. So we will slide this in here. Now, I would think, yeah, you definitely don't want it all the way back because then it's going to be hitting itself. So I'm going to bring it off a little bit. Yeah, no noise now. So again, we'll tighten up this Allen screw on the flat side on the motor output shaft. Just spinning it to make sure it doesn't make contact with the face of the motor. I don't know if there's a spec as for what the space between the fins and the fan should be. Just give you an idea. I mean, it's as close as I could get it. It's not perfectly balanced, obviously. I wonder if we could fix that. Yeah. It kind of bothers me. Let me play around with it, see if I could get it balanced off camera. Alright, I think I have it a little bit more balanced. Just sneaking the Allen wrench in here one more time. Give it a final crank. Get her tight, but not too tight. Give it a spin. As good as that's going to get, I think. We have the new connecting shaft. But I think I'm trying to decide whether I want to install this on the pump first. So the green end is going to connect to the I'm going to call it a high pressure fuel pump. It's not super high. I think it goes to what, 100 psi, maybe 150. But on that shaft there is also a flat spot, so I think it's going to be easier if I install this on that shaft and then we'll try and line up the motor. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm trying to give you a shot inside the black hole there. So again, that goes to the fuel pump. And the flat side appears to be on the right. So flat spot on the right. Let's try and put this in here first, I guess. Okay. It's engaged. I guess we'll leave this flat spot on the motor face up. If that's the case, then we probably should remove these bolts on the sides to make sure we get the shaft lined up, and then we'll throw these in. Take the shaft on the motor, get that flat spot facing up, and we will try and poke it in. There we go. So now that we have the motor positioned in the right orientation, now we can fish these wires up through the housing. Alright, and now we just need to make our connection. So as you recall earlier, we ended up clipping the orange line and the white line on the new motor connections, orange line and a white line, so we're just going to hook this back up the way it was. Restow all our junctions. Pack the box. Reinstall our safety controller. Tighten this down to the junction box. Carefully close up the transformer here. Make sure these wires are tucked in. In the front of the transformer, there's these two tabs that swing over the front lip. And then just take a flathead screwdriver, tighten down the fasteners. And that should be it. So I'm going to flip the burner switch back on, make sure we don't hear any noises. It's still off on limit right now, so I'm going to go turn up some thermostats and get this thing to get some hot water moving. We'll make sure we don't hear any weird sounds or anything, but should be good to go. Sounds good so far. No weird noise, no rattle. Sounds healthy. I'm going to call this a good repair. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.